What's going on, guys? It's Tommy here from Saleslucky. And as we wrap up end of 2020, I'm sure you guys are all eager to get out of 2020 with everything that's happened this year. And as we head into 2021, I just want to share with you guys a couple books that I've been reading in Q4 this year. And there's some good ones in here for sure. So without further ado, I'll share them with you guys. The first one is The Gucci Mane Guide to Greatness by none other than Gucci Mane. If you guys listen to rap music like I do, I grew up on rap music. This is a really interesting read, and it was recommended to me by a successful friend of mine. And he said, he doesn't just read, business books and personal development books and that stuff, and marketing and sales books, but he'll read, biographies of interesting people. We've all had different lives, we all have different experiences, and there's often gems and gold in, other people's lives. And as Tony Robbins likes to say, success leaves clues. So, we're always, what are we always doing? We're always taking clues. We're always taking notes. We're always sifting through the shit, so to speak, to find the gold nuggets. And there's plenty of good gold nuggets in this one, all right? So the Gucci Mane Guide to Greatness. Gucci Mane, if you don't know, he's a rapper, and he's a pretty, I wouldn't say flamboyant is the right word, but he's a rapper. He's got chains. He's got, all this stuff for show. And it's typical kind of rap music content. But when you read this book, you start to peel back what's underneath the hood, in his brain, so to speak. It's his thoughts. And what I've noticed is that successful people, whether it's rappers or athletes or whatever it is, and they share common aspects of mindset. One of the things I took away from this book is, Gucci Mane really says, if you want more, you really got to do more. Like, there's no shortcuts. We've all heard that, but it's the truth. And if you want more, you got to do more. And if you want more, you got to stay ahead of the ball. In sales or whatever it might be. We know when we're staying ahead of things and when we're not. And certainly not perfect. But yeah, it's super important to stay ahead of the ball, stay on top of things, and really be disciplined in our habits and our rituals so that we are consistent and we are staying ahead of things. So that was a big takeaway for me. Highly recommend that book. It's it's a pleasure to read. He's an entertaining character, and it's just interesting to see the insides of a successful rapper. Second book is Adweek Copywriting Handbook by Joe Sugarman. I'm actually still going through it today. This book right here, and I'm learning copywriting. I've been kind of studying this over the past couple months, and it's something that I definitely want to get really good at, if not master. Actually, yeah, I want to master it. Copywriting is basically sales in print. So if you're good at selling in person or one-on-one on the phone or on a Zoom call, copywriting, I believe, is the skill that's going to be more and more necessary in the future as prospecting more and more shifts from phone to email and social. And copywriting is just, again, sales by print. So if you can sell well in person, a lot of these great direct response copywriters had direct sales background, like one-on-one, person-to-person sales background, and those skills and principles really transfer. So if you can get good at copywriting, you'll be able to basically sell to people at scale. And I do believe this is going to be more and more important in the future, even for B2B sales reps. So highly recommend this book. This is going to be a book that I'm going to be going through more than once for sure. It's just super dense. One of those books where you can tell there's a lot of content in there and just a lot of good stuff in there, a lot of gold, okay? The third, so again, obviously I highly recommend that one. Third book is a PDF that I downloaded. It's called Convert 2.0 by Frank Kern. And if you don't know Frank Kern is an internet marketing legend. He was previously known as the surfer dude, internet marketer surfer dude, who generated 8 figures online within a 24-hour span, which is incredible. And he's got important concepts in there. He talks about indoctrination, which is really sharing your content out there for people to take in, to understand, and really be indoctrinated in your content because they believe it, they trust it, and you're providing good for people out there. Okay. Book number 4 is called The Dark Side Dichotomy by Aaron Ash. Aaron Ash is in the Arete Syndicate. And I'm in the Arte Accelerator, so we're both in Arte, and I came across him as he was in one of our weekly calls one day, and after reading this book, it's a great book. It's an important concept, and one that I first learned from Andy Frisella, who hosts the Arte, one of the founders of Arte. And it's really the idea about leveraging our pain, leveraging our dark side for positive results, for positive impact in the world. And personally, growing up, I'm sure like everyone else, we've all gone through stuff maybe that challenged us, or we faced adversity, and we felt pain because of that. And previously for myself, I know that I had really tried to push it down and pretend like that pain wasn't there, until about 2 years ago I came across Andy. And really coming across him really made that okay for me to not only experience that pain, but tap into it as fuel. And after doing so, I can tell you, if you can tap into your dark side, into your pain, and leverage that as fuel, that's going to be, that's never going to run out. Like, that's like fuel that will never run out. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean, okay? But I recommend you check out this book if any of what I said kind of resonates with you, or if you feel like you have, we all have a dark side, but if you feel like you have, like, might not sound politically correct, but if you have like a chip on your shoulder, or you have experienced pain or trauma or whatever it is, and you have that fuel inside of you, maybe this is a good book to dive into to bring awareness into maybe how other people have leveraged that pain, that darkness, and instead of letting it control them and make them a victim, they've leveraged that and they've used that as fuel for creating more positive impacts into a world. And if you can do that, that is incredible. And from what I've learned about successful people, as far as the very successful people, every single person leverages the dark side. They might just not be telling you. The next book, number 5, is Softwired by Michael Merisnich. Probably not pronouncing that right, but it's the first book that I've started diving into around brain science and how malleable the brain is. It is a fairly technical book, so it might not be a best fit for everyone, but this is an area that I am interested in, personal development and human performance and whatnot. And the biggest takeaway just overall is just how absolutely malleable our brains are. If it's a skill set that we're not good at growing up, or maybe it's you were raised a certain way and you were conditioned a certain way, at the end of the day, whatever the thing is, like whatever we want we want to get better at, if we put energy, focus, dedication, and consistency in back of that, like we're going to get better at whatever it is that we're trying to get better at. We may not be Michael Jordan of that thing, but you can for sure bet that you have the ability to exponentially improve whatever area it is that you want to improve in. And our brains are just that malleable. Like, for example, years ago when I started out in this area of persuasion and sales, I sucked at it, wasn't good at it. And over time, over practice and getting the reps in and getting those reps in, it rewired my brain. It made new neural connections in my brain because our brains are so malleable. If you work at something, you will get better at it, okay? So it's incredibly empowering. It's incredibly, just encouraging to know that. So that's why I'm sharing it with you guys. And then the last book I'll share with you is called Your Best Year Ever by Michael Hyatt. Another friend recommended me this book, and it's a great book for just end of the year goal setting. He really dives deep in here on practical strategies that you can apply to make your goals more effective. And I'll share with you one thing that I learned from this book. So in this book, they talk about two different types of goals. 1, achievement goals. 2, habit goals. So achievement goals are what most people are familiar with. I want to make $1 million. I want to hit X number of sales and revenue by end of the year. They're end result goals, right? Habit goals are more goals tied to our habits that will help us get to these achievement goals. So for example, if our achievement goal is we want to bring in $500,000 of revenue for 2021, well, maybe a habit goal could be, I will spend 2 hours prospecting every single day, Monday through Friday, 52 weeks a year. So, you can see how one goal is an end result, and another goal is set around habits and what you're continuously, habitually doing to get there, right? So we need to have both in play in order to be most effective, because one feeds on the other, right? They support each other and they synergize. And without having those habit goals, it's much more difficult to achieve those achievement goals, right? So anyways, hope you guys got value out of this and you guys got something out of this video. If any of those books sounded interesting to you, feel free to pick them up. And if you do read them, shoot me a message. Let me know how they impacted you. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the new year. Happy New Year, guys. Just want to say a quick shout out. I appreciate you guys for always checking out this content, for checking out this blog, and this YouTube channel. I really appreciate you guys for being a part of this community. I'm doing this for you guys. I really want to make an impact and help you guys have an easier road in mastering or getting better at sales than I did, and it's really why I'm doing this. So it won't be too long-winded. Enjoy the rest of your year, guys. Happy New Year. See you guys in 2021. Let's go crush Saleslucky fam. Cheers.